All right, jumping into Whac-a-dodo. This one is one of the more difficult events, but again, mandatory in order to keep that multiplier popping. A few things to note is that when you're running, you want to continue to run and jump when you are firing your gun, just to keep your move speed moving. If I were to shoot while on the ground, you can see that even though I'm sprinting, I do slow down when I'm firing my gun. That doesn't happen if I continue to run and jump to keep the momentum. But the point of this is right now on the right hand side, you'll see I need to get 2,000 points. I get 20 points for each Akatina. A benefit of hitting Akatinas is that they do heal you. So if you do get hit by a dodo explosion, you can heal yourself by popping those Akatinas, which are only available during this stage of the boss fight. When you are actually fighting the large dodo, you will not see any Akatinas on the map. You'll notice that when I do shoot these dodos that are in the ground, I am getting 100 points per dodo shot. So that's how I'm going to be accumulating points. And then finally, you will also see pieces of poo, as you can see on the left. If you hit those with a harpoon or walk over them, you will take a 200-point deduction from your score. So try to avoid those, or if you're playing with a friend, make sure he's not shooting poo, as he will be sending you back. This one I do like doing with friends because while I'm doing the run and jump strategy, where I'm continuing to shoot while I'm in the air, there is another way that you can do this, which is going to be getting posted up in the different corners of the map. And I like to just play across from a friend in the corner. And what you can do is just, again, continue to shoot these dodos away as needed, and just hit dodos. One thing you'll notice, though, is that they'll always pop out of the ground and run towards me. If you have a friend, though, half those dodos at least will pop out of the ground even when they're point blank on you, and they'll run across the map to your friend. So this will give you plenty of time to shoot all these dodos from a stationary position in those corners. Another thing I'll note is that you'll notice that you can rapid fire the harpoon. One thing I've noticed is that every once in a while you will run into a bugged dodo, where if you are rapid firing, you will hit him multiple times, and it will not stop the dodo from continuing to pursue you and blow up in your face. I'd say maybe about 10% of the time, 5 or 10% of the time, you'll run into that issue. If you shoot your shots one at a time, you'll not run into that problem. So you can always just do a patient shooting and take care of it. As far as for this boss, the dodo bar that we're currently being pursued by, there's two ways that you can him. One is going to be picking up his little explosives, do a quick turnaround, blowing them up. The other option is to shoot all these little turns under him and getting with a big old cluster bomb of dodos. So we see there's quite a few under him. I'm going to pop those. That's a good amount of chip damage I can do for the boss. As far as these pickups, one thing to note is as soon as you hit E on them, or whatever your pickup is, do a run and jump so that you keep your momentum. You will be slow when you have that in your hands, and these dodos will pursue you and take a dump in your mouth. So just make sure that you are being patient and picking them up with that run and jump. You'll notice that I'm also switching to pull my harpoon gun back out while again in midair. Same concept, just keeping my move speed. So I got a minute left, got plenty of time. So this boss, since I'm running solo, I'm not sure how it is for multiple people. I think it's still free, but I have to beat him in 3 stages. The last stage won't have that much health, but I'm going to have to rinse and repeat this 2 more times. Again, just getting 100 points. You can't shoot these dodos and get them out of your way, especially when they are going for that cutoff route, spawning in front of you. You do have some time if you pop them out of the ground before they will start to pursue you. So this one's pretty long as far as events go. It does have good payout, but it's just a bummer when you get late into the stages and get blown up by a dodo. It's not fun. Can't get meleeed by the boss. He does almost no damage though, so I really don't even care. He can push you though, which can be dangerous. Just depending on the situation. It's got a nice cluster of neighbors. One thing I will warn you about, if you are shooting a big old group of dodos under his feet, sometimes a dodo explosion can push another explosive dodo towards you. So just be mindful that you have enough spacing where that won't be a factor. He's taking a lot of chip damage from those little guys. Again, always just making sure I have clear pathing in front of me. I mean, obviously you can try to dodge them on foot, avoiding the explosions, but for safety purposes and making sure I don't have to reset, I am pretty cautious when it comes to dodos that are cutting me off. Again, if you have a friend, this is a lot easier because you can just be in the corners. If you do play with a friend though, one thing that is tougher is it's a lot easier to deal damage to the boss when you're the one that is being pursued versus the one that is not being aggroed by the boss. So whoever it ends up being is just a lot easier to take those chip shots at the dodos that are leading the way versus trying to do like a side throw when you're not being pursued by the boss. It's two people though. I mean, one person can just focus on staying alive while the other one does damage to the boss. I usually advise not shooting the dodos as the one that's not being pursued that are near the pursuit. Just because you can't accidentally harpoon an explosive dodo into your friend, which kind of sucks, especially when you're trying to get to the train ride. You don't want to reset them completely. But take your time. You do get plenty of time to do these stages. Right inside, about a minute and a half of time left. And that's just for this specific stage of the 2,000 points that I need to accumulate. So I have plenty of time to beat this boss fight. So I'm going to start rounding them up. I do sometimes like to build up the group of explosives, just so that as soon as the boss spawns, I can maybe shoot a bunch of baby dodos into him. So we are at the point, I'm going to do a tight turn, so that as soon as I turn around, there I got some explosives to go away. And I used to focus mainly on the ones you pick up, but I've noticed that you can do plenty of damage with these little guys. So take opportunities when you can, but if you are worried about distance between you and the dodos, always err on the side of caution. Plus they do despawn sometimes right in your face. But there you have it. That was an easy one. Didn't take much damage. And boom, we just got a big payout.